Today we'll be stringing a Nike Lakota U. Now to begin the pattern tutorial on the Nike Lakota U, we're going to start on the third hole of the head. So I'm just going to put my string through on the third hole. We're going to start with a double loop and wrap. Just like so. So in through the first available mesh hole, go back through that same sidewall hole and up through that same mesh hole. Just like so. Now what we're going to do is skip and do an SI. So we're going to skip this first hole and then do an SI. So we're going to go down to the top of the mesh. Remember to skip this first sidewall hole. We're going to go into the plastic and through the loop that we create. And then we're going to take our string and go back up and under that same mesh hole. Now we're going to skip another hole and do an SI. So just like before, down to the top of the mesh, skipping that next hole, and then going into the plastic. And do the loop that we create, like so, and up and through that same mesh hole. Alright, so now that we've done those first two SIs like so, we're going to skip another sidewall hole and do a KSI to lock down the channel. So we're going to go in through the top of the next mesh hole. And then what we're going to do is go into the plastic. We're going to leave a little loop like so. So then we're going to take our string and go from the back of the loop like so. So that should create a pretzel-like shape, as you can see. So I'm going to pull my leading and string downwards, but not all the way. So it should lock up a little bit right here, as you can see. And what we're going to need to do is go from the inside of the head and pull the string like so. Then we're going to take our fingertips and pinch the sidewall string to the plastic of the head. And we're going to pull our leading in string downwards. Nice and tight. So that's going to lock this knot next to the plastic. And what we're going to do is take our string and go back and up through that same mesh hole. And that's going to anchor down our channel, as you can see. Next, what we're going to do is an SI. So once again, up and through the next mesh hole. We're going to take the top of the mesh and just pull it up a little bit because we're going to start to create the pocket. So now we're going to go in through the plastic without skipping any holes, through the loop that we create, like so. We're going to take our string, go back up and through that same mesh hole. Remember to pull the top of the mesh up towards the scoop to help start create that pocket. Now what we're going to do is a 1 SI. So we're going to take our string, go up and under the next mesh hole. Remember to bunch the mesh up a little bit. And this one should pull right next to the plastic once you pull the mesh up, like so. Now what we're going to do is the SI portion. So we're going to take our string without going into any of the plastic on the holes on the head, down through the next mesh hole. And we're going to take a mesh, bunch it up once again. And now we're going to go into the plastic without skipping any holes on the head. So through the loop that we create, and I'm still holding the mesh up towards the scoop to help create the pocket. Now what we're going to do is take our string and go up and through the bottom of that last mesh hole we went through. Just like so. Remember to bunch the mesh up towards the scoop once again, up, down to the inside, so it's nice and tight. So now what we're going to do is 3 more SIs. So we're going to go down to the top of the next mesh hole, still bunching it up to create the pocket, to the loop that we create, up and through that same mesh hole. Nice and tight. We're going to do it 2 more times, down to the top of the next mesh hole, into the sidewall hole, like so, and up and through that same mesh hole. Now we're going to do it 1 more time, still creating that pocket, and through the next sidewall hole, and up and through that same mesh hole. Alright, so now we're starting to create our pocket. Now what we're going to do is skip the next sidewall hole. We're going to do an interlock. So instead of going down to the top of the mesh hole, we're going to go into the plastic first. So this should create a little loop, as you can see. Now we're going to take our next mesh loop right here, as you can see, and from the inside of the head we're going to take our leading edge string and go up and through that mesh hole. You're going to pull it just so you have a little loop left. You're going to take your string and go up and through that loop. Take the top of the mesh and bunch it up towards the scoop, and then pull this leading edge string downwards, up and down, so it's nice and tight, as you can see. Now to tie off the string, what we're going to do is take our string, go back through the same mesh hole that we just went through, but towards the inner part of the head, like so. Now what we're going to do is from the inside of the head, take our string and go out and through the next sidewall hole, just like that. As you can see from over here, we just went back to that same mesh hole. Pull this nice and tight, and this is what it should look like on the inside of the head. Very simple. And then last thing, all we need to do is just tie a knot to the plastic. Alright, there we go. Alright, so as you see, we have a very nice looking mid pocket on the Nike Lakota U. It's going to be perfect for any midfielder, attackman, or LSM that's looking to carry the ball up and down the field and also shoot from the outside. It's going to be great overall. It's going to have some nice whip. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.